to welcome Chris Demetriou. Chris is the current district vice president of the Dr. Phillips YMCA, and thank you for supporting my lifelong dream. This podcast is something I've been thinking about for the last 5 years, and we both know Sarah, and Sarah's like, you just got to do it. Let's do it. So I truly appreciate you being here. And for those of you that don't know Chris, this is what he does. And Chris has such a giving spirit, and it's so evident as I continue to meet you, learn more about you, and serve at the Y and be on the board. And like I said today, you bring the energy, and I appreciate you bringing the energy. I don't know where you find it all the time, because I know that you're at a YMCA with 15,000 members and kids from all over the community and serving them, and I appreciate that smile. And we just had the Orlando Signature event at Bay Hill, and can you just talk a little bit about how Arnold Palmer figured into the whole equation of how that Y ended up in Dr. Phillips, and maybe the story of how that Y came to be?
It's a really cool story. And first, I want to say thank you for having me today.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited. It's my first podcast experience.
Oh, how about that? That's awesome.
I'm pumped that I get to do that with you.
Awesome. Thank you,
This
man.
is really
That's
cool.
awesome.
This is really exciting.
That's cool. Yeah, thank you.
And you've been incredible on our journey at the Y and for the community.
Thank you.
That's what the Y was meant to do. The Y was meant to be that conduit for the community, especially the Dr. Phillips Y. It's unincorporated Orange County, so it's the town hall of the community, which is cool. And Arnold played a big part of that, actually. There's this really cool picture of Arnold Palmer and Jim Henson, who was the executive director of the Dr. Phillips Charities at the time, back in the mid 80s or early 80s, probably around 1983, 1984. And at that time, the community was really starting to grow. Arnold had really put his roots down into Bay Hill, and he really felt strongly that a Y needed to be in the community. And so he went to Jim Henson and said, hey, we need a Y here. It's going to be on this corner. We're going to do this together.
Yeah. And
there's this really cool picture of Arnold and Jim Henson together in front of a YMCA coming soon. And then 1985, that was when the Dr. P. Phillips YMCA first opened. It's been serving the community ever since, which is really it's incredible. And you talked about 15,000 members and program participants. It's wild. That Y averages somewhere between 45 and 55,000 swipes, just 1,000 check-ins a month. It's just a very high-use facility because it really stands for all. There's so many things going on for everyone in the community. It's really cool.
Well, and you got schools, right within the general vicinity too, and you open it up every day, right? While school's going on, which I think is a really cool thing, because you guys practice what you preach. You do open and allow opportunities for kids that may not otherwise have that opportunity.
Yeah.
And they can come, and maybe just talk a little bit about what that means too. I know that they can't come anytime they want to, but you open it up, and I see sometimes kids working on homework, maybe some kids ordering coffee, some just doing what kids do, right? And talk about how you work with the local middle schools and Dr. Phillips High School and so on and so forth.
So we have 1,300 teen members at the Dr. Phillips Y.
Wow.
And then on top of that, you have all of our teens that are engaging in programs. They're with their friends. So I remember we had a really interesting experience where school let out. We were meeting in the Foxtail Cafe at Dr. Phillips, and all of a sudden we were flooded with teens because that's where they go.
That's where they go. Yep.
When school's done and parents are still working or they don't have a safe space to come, they come to the Y, and that matters so much to us because our teens need to have every opportunity for success. So we do partner with a lot of the local schools. Damian Rosado, who's the principal at Southwest Middle, actually serves on our advisory board at Dr. Phillips too. And so he really helps us to bridge the gap with the teens so that we have expectations.
Yeah.
We want the teens
that's right.
to follow all of those guidelines, but also we want them to be kids. They're going to get into a little bit of trouble. We want them to have that safe space so that we could be the good mentors for them for what's next. And so we continue to expand. We've had a longstanding relationship with a couple elementary schools. We're starting to really work with some of our local high schools too. We've done some great stuff with Dr. Phillips High School in the past. We've done some stuff with Lake Buena Vista High School too, as they've opened. So really engaging the kids in the community, that's a big part of what we do, because they're coming.
Absolutely.
They're coming to us. And, you'll hear me say, as we talk about a couple of things, there's a few things that keep me up at night. Outside of making sure that my family and my kids are safe, our building closes at 9:00 at night, Monday through Friday. The amount of teens that are still in our building at that time when we close, where do they go next? And I think about that deeply as we continue to figure out how best to support our teens and support our kids to make sure that they're getting everything that they need as they continue in their life's journey.
I did not know that.
It's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I haven't seen that. I haven't been around at 9:00 to see these kids, not knowing maybe where they're going to go.
The hope is that they're going home.
Yeah.
And they're going to get their schoolwork done, but you never know. And the fact that we're able to be there for them is really incredible. It's one of the drivers of why I do what I do.
Well, I was in the Lake Nona area from 2007 to 2018-19. And it not only has an effect on youth, but it has an effect on adults too. We joined that Y out there and started playing softball. I got old enough; I can't play baseball anymore. So I had to I had to play something other than golf. And just walked out to the fields when they started advertising for some co-ed softball leagues, and we just got paired up with some great group of guys, and it's 3 different seasons. And just really got to know some of those the adults that were playing, and the men and the women, friendships that we still have. And we would win. It became very competitive. Y leagues can become very competitive, Chris.
Of course.
We had to win. And but we started, some of those guys, we put together our own traveling team and started traveling and playing in Daytona and some other places. And so you really develop some core friendships and relationships that with people and adults that you see on a daily basis and it wouldn't have happened without the YMCA. And as a kid, to really rewind, when I grew up in Lynchburg, Virginia, there was a Y downtown. I think it's Ford Avenue, or I can't remember exactly what street, but my parents would drop me off at the Y on a Saturday morning and pick me up at like 7:00 at night. And I would just go out there and be like, okay, if I need to play basketball or if I need to swim or whatever, I'll figure it out. I'm dating myself. It goes back, before phones and before all that stuff. But that's what you did. I might have had a friend with me. I may not have had a friend with me, but it was a safe space for me as a kid to kind of just develop and work with and just play. And then, maybe do it again the next Saturday. So the Y has really had an impact. And so now it's great to be able to serve and kind of give back as a member of the YMCA board. So I think it's great.
Well, we love having you be a part of it. And, you hit the nail on the head when we're talking about the Y. We serve our kids, our youth programs, and the Y is a nonprofit.
Yeah.
501c3. We raise hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarship, specifically at the Dr. Phillips Y. And it's all that money goes directly to support the individuals that are in need in our community. And as an organization, we don't turn anyone away for inability to pay. And that's a critical part of our mission and what we do. As far as you talked about adults, and that part of what the Y does is so important, because socialization is part of that spirit, mind, and body journey that the Y talks about. People need to be social.
Yeah.
They need an outlet to be social. And so what we found recently, pickleball has exploded at the DPY and really across our association. So we're YMCA of Central Florida. We've got 14 YMCA locations. You talked a little bit about Lake Nona too, which is cool.
Yeah.
And we have 2 daycare centers on Disney property. And so we've really seen, as adult sports go, we have some great basketball that happens at some of our locations, including DP. We have some volleyball, some futsal, but pickleball. At the Dr. Phillips Y, we have 520 pickleballers a week right now, and so it's really taken off. But why is it taken off? The sport's great. You get a great workout, but the social aspect of the sport is so incredible, and watching the adults just love that time and being able to have time with others is really, really cool. It's something that you don't think about when you think about the Y or social opportunities.
And the Y is very good. I mean,
We try. Thank you.
Your buddy Bobby Vereb called me the other day, and they were playing in a community in which I live, and they said, "Yeah, why don't you come over? We're playing against them." And I was like, "Okay, I'll come say hello." I don't think the entire guys team lost a set, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know if they're going to invite us back."
They are.
So they're crushing everybody. So the Y is good. So if anybody watching wants to compete against the Y, bring your game. Okay, bring your game, because it was hilarious. And Bobby's like, "Maybe can you and I play?" I said, "Well, take it easy. I'm not that good." So you guys are good. So the Y is something to watch out for.
I play with Bobby occasionally, and he is next level. I can hold my own.
Okay.
He'd probably laugh when he sees this, that like, no, really, I help you a lot.
Well, Bobby, I'm coming. I'm gonna Chris and I are gonna practice, and then we're coming after you.
Let's go.
That's hilarious.
It's really, so Bobby serves as our associate exec at the DPY, and one of the big initiatives that he started was our pickleball program. So we started giving him just a nickname. He was Pickle Bob I think I still use that in some board meetings.
Okay.
And I know he loves it. I think.
I'm gonna call him Pickleball from now on. That's hilarious. That's funny. I'm gonna big at a jar of pickles and just leave it on the desk. That's funny.
But yeah, it's really cool. And yes, the talent level is very high.
Wow.
And the misconception with a sport like pickleball is it's for one age demographic. It's just not true. Every age demographic's playing, and it's really fun to just watch that sport take off, especially at the Y.
Well, it's interesting. You talk about the social aspect. I got 3 boys, and we started playing pickleball and at the club that we were a part of, and they just started going, and they started playing, and they'd go down at like 4:00 in the afternoon and get home like at 10. Like you're getting a little worried. Like what is going on? And no, but they just started incorporating themselves within adult groups and starting to play. And then they got part of a big WhatsApp group. So then they'd be home and, oh yeah, Chris is texting me, he and his wife, they want to play. I'm like, okay. So it doesn't matter the age. It's just that bonding and that socialization of what the sport brings. You're absolutely correct. So we're like, okay, see y'all later. See you in about 6 hours. They're exercising. They're getting, they're getting their social fix. They're not playing video games, and I'm all for it.
It's what it's about.
It's what it's about.
Love it.
And they're in a safe environment, right? So, Chris, you started your current role as the district vice president, November of 2023. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Can you talk about your journey, starting with the Y, and how you got to that role, and why the Y has been so important to you?
I would love to. So, funny enough, I love telling the start of this story because I met my wife at the Y.
Oh, fantastic!
And it was so I do now have a great Y story. I did not when I first started at the Y. So I was working full time. I was getting my master's, and I wanted a free gym membership, and that was my first initial. How do I do this with the Y? I had a personal training cert, and I decided to work in the wellness department at the Y. So I took a part-time job, took all the closing shifts. So you can imagine that the wellness director was thrilled to have me because I was like, yeah, put me on late at night. I'm studying. So my second day on the job, my now wife walks in with her mom. We met this was 16 years ago now. And she's home from St. Joe's. I had just graduated college and working on my master's. And I'm originally from New York, but had moved to the Philadelphia area. So this is right outside of Philadelphia at this time. And they wanted a wellness appointment, free wellness appointment when you sign up for a membership. So I had a client, but I scheduled them. So I'm very proud of myself. Yeah. It's all pen and paper at this point. There's no computer back there.
That's right.
So I'm putting them in, give them their cards. Here's your next appointment. So Laura shows up on my third day of work, and she wasn't supposed to do that. She was scheduled in the book for a few days past that.
Okay.
But I put the wrong date on her card. So she shows up, and I have a client. Nobody can help her in that moment. So she was a little annoyed. Yeah. She was a little annoyed that nobody was there to help her. And so after my client was done, she was on a treadmill, and I walked over and said, hey, I'm so sorry. We actually got to talked about 45 minutes.
Wow.
And the rest is history. 16 years later.
What a great story.
2 states, 2 beautiful kids,
Yeah.
a giant dopey golden doodle. And so we've really built this quality of life together. So I owe the Y everything.
Wow.
From there, I went part-time. I had this really cool opportunity when I was a part-time employee to teach adapted sports. And so when you talk about the hook for the Y, I didn't really understand the Y mission until that opportunity. And so my first class in teaching adapted sports, you focus on a couple things. How are you going to support the kids? So make sure that they're being successful, make sure that it's a valuable hour for them. But then you look at the parents and you see the parents have this just sigh of relief, knowing that they could take that hour, that their kids are going to be engaged in programs. And it was an incredibly powerful moment for me to really understand what I wanted to do with my career. So I was getting my master's.
That's amazing. And just for those that may not understand what adapted kids means, what did that mean for that program?
So the kids had varying special needs.
Okay.
And it was a very wide spectrum.
Yeah.
Some physical disabilities to just a very diverse ability group. And it was kudos to the Y at that time, the Y that I was working in, for being able to offer programming to support everyone in our community.
Absolutely.
And that's again going back to what the Y does.
Mm-hmm.
That was incredible. And then to be able to be asked to have the opportunity to be asked to support the program as an instructor was, again, life-changing for me. So it was really cool. And I was focused on the professional sports space at that point. So I was getting my master's in sports management studies, finished that, and knew that the nonprofit world was exactly where I needed to be. I needed my cup to be filled. And that opportunity was huge for me. So from there, my first full-time job in the Y was assistant sports director to no one. And all my Y friends that will be listening to this.
You said assistant to no one.
To no one. That's
funny.
All my Y friends that are going to hear this will absolutely understand that.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then I became sports director and had this really cool opportunity to build quality relationships in the Chester County, Pennsylvania community, and 1,000 kids in a sports program.
Oh, wow.
Worked with the Sixers at that point. It was really cool, and then kind of just grew my career path from there. When we got to Central Florida, I started in the end of 2016.
How'd you get to Central Florida from?
So, my family was down in Florida, St. Augustine. My parents were down here. My wife's family was predominantly still in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And I'll never forget, I came home from work one day, and my wife's got a tear on the couch. She's very, very upset. I'm like, what's going on? She had just been at a family baby shower, I think. So it should have been a happy moment.
Yeah.
And she's like, I just found out my mom's moving to Florida. And I'm thinking, that's great. You know, we could go visit both our parents at the same time. We'll vacation down there. It's wonderful. And so I actually said that out loud. Said, well, that's wonderful. That's okay. That's going to be great. And she wipes that tear away from her eye, says, you're right. It is going to be okay because we're moving to Florida. Figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And so the Y network's big, but it's small too. And
Yeah.
I had some great connections down here and was able to be recruited to be, at that point, the associate executive director of the Roper YMCA in Winter Garden.
Yeah.
And so that was a really cool experience. That board, I became the executive director shortly after. That board was incredible. We really did a lot of great work for the community. And so we're on a really good path. And then the pandemic came. And the pandemic really changed the landscape of everything that we were doing for the YMCA in Central Florida. And I think we've grown to this really good space through this transition. So a lot of leadership changes at that point. The CEO at that time retired going into 2021. And Kevin Boulding is now our CEO. He's been our CEO since, I think, September of 2021.
From Lynchburg, Virginia.
From Lynchburg, Virginia, that's right. And then he was the CEO of Pittsburgh. He's been a rock star. And our COO, who's my direct supervisor, Nikki Bucher, she's been an incredible support too. So we've really put all of these great team members together for a great C-suite. I transitioned to Dr. Phillips at the height of the pandemic. So May, June 2020 is when I first started at Dr. Phillips.
I was living right across the street at that time.
Really?
And so I know, I mean, I don't know what you were going through, but a Y that has 15,000 members and seeing what used to be taking place there, and then I'm walking my dog, I'm like, where's everybody? I mean, I knew what was going on, but it must have been scary at that time.
There was a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah.
A lot of uncertainty. Dr. Phillips was one of the first Ys that we got back online when we were coming out of the pandemic. And what actually ended up happening, the community really, they were desperate
That's right.
for stuff. And so the community really said, hey, we're really happy that you're open now. We're coming back. And everyone really came back into fury, which was cool. It was really fun to see. And somebody that I had perspective in West Orange because I had been there for several years at that point.
Yeah.
But I was just really learning about the Dr. Phillips community. The cool thing, lots of overlap between Roper and DP because of a shared service area. So I knew a lot of our board members at that point, a lot of members that were going between the two. But definitely a unique learning experience and a career moment that you will never forget.
No. And it was only 4 years ago.
I know. It's wild. It's wild.
It's crazy.
It feels like 100 years ago. But
I mean, just do you remember that first day walking in there? How surreal it was, and welcoming a guest in, waiting for a guest to come through the front door. Like, is anybody going to come?
It was a magic moment, and
Did you run up and give him a big hug?
Yeah, I did.
With a mask on?
Yes, that's exactly. Because you know me. You know how
both of us. I
know. Need that.
We do need that to fill our tank.
It's crazy, and
yeah.
I have to tell you, our members did such a good job in following any of those expectations that we had to really put out there during that time, and really helped us to get through that transition. And so it just makes you even more proud to be part of the community and be part of what's happening at the Y. So we went on this journey, and I'll share too, the staff team at the Dr. P. Phillips Y, that team is top notch. Like they're incredible.
Yeah. And
so a lot of why our members were so engaged is because of that staff team, and they've been really consistent for a long time. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have some tenure of upwards of 25 years at that YMCA.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the leadership team's been pretty close, pretty consistent for now almost 5 years in that time. So it's really cool to see that evolution and transition too.
No, it's a good team. I mean, I've just been involved in the last 6 or 7 months, but you can tell it's a close knit.
They are
supportive team.
I'm very proud of them. I've watched them grow too, and that's fun. I think I'm still pretty early on in my career, but
you are.
But
but with your roles changing and having to oversee, you have to be able to trust in your team and your staff, and that's part of, kind of leads me, your passion and dedication to the community and to your staff is probably something that makes them feel at ease and makes you feel at ease when you have to leave and say, listen, I got to go to Ocala for a couple weeks. I may or may not see you. But I know you're going to be okay. Okay, I'll be back. Don't forget about me. But, it's important, right? I mean, if you didn't have the team that you felt could support you, it'd be kind of a scary space, right?
Yeah. I mean, lots of trust.
Lots of trust.
Lots of trust. And, I feel like at the end of every text message I send, it's an apology because I've been spending so much time in Ocala.
Yeah, right.
But that, so in 2023, my role changed where I took on some more responsibility, including the YMCA in Ocala, which is the Frank DeLuca YMCA. And that was a very interesting time for building trust with the team that I started to get to work with in Ocala, but also my current team in Dr. Phillips. And so that was a journey for us too. And it's gone great.
Yeah.
We've had some transition up at the Y in Ocala now, and we're working on continuing to build the foundation. So it's taken my time away a little bit. But in that trust, I know that this Y is doing great because I've got the right people there to support the needs. And that helps me on those moments of time where I'm like, am I neglecting them? What's going on? And then I know that they'll reach out if they need to.
That's
we
right.
have our regular scheduled time. And so it's been good.
I mean, speaking of that Y, we were talking about it before we kind of went live today, but Frank DeLuca was given a big award last night, right?
He was.
I had no idea. Was he Philanthropist of the Year? Is that right?
Yes.
A big association out there in the Ocala area. Maybe if you want to just talk briefly about that, and
Sure.
just because he's affiliated with the Y, and has given a lot to that way. His name's on the building.
Yes.
So there's something to that.
Yeah, he is one of the biggest benefactors of the YMCA of Central Florida. Started at downtown, actually. He grew up in downtown and started his Y journey as a Y kid at the downtown Y. When he moved out to Ocala, he built his business through car dealerships. Okay. And he firmly believed still does in youth development, and that the Y was a major draw for him. So the Community Foundation of Ocala recognized this past weekend Frank DeLuca as the Philanthropist of the Year, which is incredible, in front of 400 community powerhouses in Ocala and Marion County. And it just speaks volumes to Frank's heart. Frank and his wife Angela, what their passion is, what they are trying to do to make the Ocala community a better place. And so it was really special that I was able to be there and
yeah, for sure.
Can see that and feel that. It was really cool. And so I know that in their next step, and I'll use their hashtag DeLuca makes the difference.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
But I know that they're going to continue to pour into the community in this next stage and phase, as Frank has retired officially, as he shared with everyone. And we're really excited to be a part of that.
Oh, I bet. So you cleared up a question I was going to ask you. So you were born in New York, but grew up in Philly.
Born in New York, moved to outside of Philadelphia to Bucks County, Pennsylvania when I was 13 years old.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, how in the world could you be the Giants and the Yankees and a Knicks fan? Like, what is going on? There's no way this Philly boy can be a fan of these New York teams.
It's hard times being a Giants fan.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's but the Yankees and Knicks, I guess.
Yeah, Knicks right now, but it's been tough being a Knicks fan over time too. I will tell you that my wife and her family, all my best friends, are all Philadelphia fans, Eagles fans. One of my best friends is a Steelers fan, but he's got Philadelphia roots too.
Yeah.
So I needed to be steadfast in my fandom growing up.
Yeah.
Because I was a Giants fan when I got to Philadelphia. I'm 13, so my sports preferences are already going to be set.
Yeah.
So I can't flip flop now.
No.
And so
but you can't wear a Giants jersey to a Philly game.
I did one time.
Oh, I got a story for you after one time is always the case. One time.
I sat in the family section and wore a black jacket. So very neutral, like nobody can really see what's going on underneath. It was kind of cold. We're at the link. Giants are just rolling up on the Eagles, and I couldn't help myself.
Because Philly has a jail there too, right?
They do. They have a jail in the stadium. They got a
jail in the stadium. Yeah. Okay.
And so I rip off my jacket after a touchdown, and and the guy behind me dumped his drink on my head, and then his probably 10-year-old gives his dad a high five and says, "You got him good, Dad." And that was in the family section. And I will not be wearing a Giants jersey moving forward. You know what my friends say about that real quick? They'll say, "Serves you right."
Yeah, that's right. There's no compassion. There's no compassion. I mean, I'll say Commanders now. So back in the day, the Washington Commanders, they weren't the Commanders back then.
Right.
were in a playoff game against Philly, and we were in Virginia, and I had a huge friend who was a huge Commanders fan. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna wear my hat. I'm gonna wear my jersey. I'm gonna wear my pants." Okay. So we walk into the stadium. I mean, it's everything's fine. And he said, "I got to go to the restroom." I'm like, "Oh, okay." His name was Billy Hansen. I'll never forget this. He came, and this guy talked with anybody, and he could talk his way out of anything, until he met a Philly fan in the bathroom. His face was so white, his shirt was off, and he had a jacket that had replaced the jersey. I'm like, "What happened?" He goes, "I don't want to talk about it." It took a couple weeks before he's like, "Yeah, the guy basically took my shirt off." It was like, "Don't be, and they wanted to take it they wanted to, anyway. And there was a jacket that he found in the restroom or something, because it was, Philly in the playoff, it's cold.
Yeah.
And he came back with somebody else's jacket on.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, he never, one time, that's all it takes. And he didn't scream, he didn't cheer. I don't even remember who won. I just remember that story of Billy Hansen. He's like, "You just don't do that in Philly."
So we'll call the Philly fans passionate.
But yeah, we'll call them passionate.
Passionate.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they got to be number one. Raiders, they have to be, right?
They are
Giants
something.
fans probably are, but Philly fans are.
Giants fans, it's tough right now to be a Giants fan. Hopefully we'll bring our winning ways back. And we do have more Super Bowls than the Eagles.
Well, that's true.
Actually, for the NFC East, the Eagles have the least amount of Super Bowls. The NFC East has the most Super Bowls out of any division.
Oh, yeah, with Dallas, New York. Yep. Yeah,
Dallas,
Philly,
New York, Washington, and then the Eagles. So Washington, I think, has 3. The Giants have 4, and the Cowboys have 5. And the Cowboys haven't won in a very long time.
That's true.
We'll just highlight that
long,
real quick.
long time.
Long time. And then Philadelphia has 2 now. So they are the winningest division in football when it comes to Super Bowls.
I feel like we could probably do a separate podcast on sports.
So I don't know if you know this, but from a Y perspective, I oversee our sports programs across all of our associations. So 25,000 youth sports participants. So
I did not know that.
I'm in the sports world constantly, and some of those partnerships that we have a great strategic partnership with the Orlando Magic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We just created a partnership with Orlando City and Orlando Pride. Really excited about that. Working on a sustainable relationship with Orlando Valkyrie, and our youth sports partner for volleyball and soccer is Orlando Health Jewett Orthopedic. So we've got some really great partners that have come to the table to help support our programming. And the coolest thing is there are several sports that the Y invented or were invented at the Y, including basketball, including volleyball, racquetball. So it's really cool to see how how sports is so ingrained with everything that the Y does. Yeah, the Y invented basketball.
Well, that's right. And I know that we've had some conversations about creating some unified programming, right?
Yes.
Like Special Olympics.
Yes.
And I know that it's down the road, but at least the conversations have begun. And so that those, because you talked about the adapted sports, which it sounds pretty similar, of course, to what you're talking about with Special Olympics. This Special Olympics sport has 77,000 athletes, and if there may or may not be families within the Y that if they found out there was a program with their kids with special needs could be incorporated with kids and display normal sports. I mean, how much that would be amazing, right?
Incredible.
Right?
We've had some recent conversations with Special Olympics to start developing what we can do to work together in the community. And I'm a big believer in this, that we're better together.
Yeah.
And we need all of these organizations to work together to be the best version of ourselves for the community. And so that's really what we're doing. That's what we're working on right now. So
in all the relationships outside of the Y, you're on the I know it's not this anymore, so you can correct me because you're on the board, but it's the Central Florida Sports Commission.
Greater Orlando Sports Commission.
Jason would kill me. Greater Orlando Sports Commission.
I am. I'm on their advisory board.
And what a great opportunity for you and the Y. For some of those other big time relationships that can only help the Y.
Absolutely. And it's really cool too, because there's a lot of focus on the professional space, and I feel like I get to bring a little bit of the recreational space to the table and to the forefront. The team there is incredible. And, I even said it, I think I recently posted about it. Orlando is a sports town.
Oh, for
this
sure.
is a sports town. You don't need a professional sports team in every sport to be a sports town.
No.
And what we've got going on here between Florida Citrus Sports, between the Kia Center and Magic, between Inter & Co. and Orlando City and Orlando Pride, UCF, they are, stepped into the Big 12. This is a
USTA.
USTA and their huge footprint.
Massive.
What's going on with the World Cup?
Oh yeah.
All
Olympics.
the Olympics, the Olympic trials. This is a sports town, and kudos to Jason and his team, because they've really brought the emphasis to that for Orlando. And you see it every day. It's really cool. It's really cool to be a part of.
Well, and it wasn't like that just maybe 20 years ago.
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
Wide World of Sports was probably the only thing, but that's another major draw too.
but even through Track Shack,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
footprint that they bring with supporting some of these other charitable, and this with Disney and with whatever the organization might be, it's pretty amazing. One thing as we wrap up, I'd like to, your career, obviously, we've talked about the passion that you have and what you bring to your community. What is one or two things that you would like to say to the people who might be listening that say, hey man, nonprofit, tourism, hospitality, I'd love to get involved with that. One or two things that you feel is important that you've seen to really climb up that ladder to the position that you're in today.
So from a community standpoint, the need is there, and how do we continue to support the needs in our community? I'll do a shameless plug for the Y.
Yeah, please. Yeah. I was going to ask you, because people who want to support the Y, whether it's financially or just themselves volunteering, please talk about how that can happen.
Each Y is a little different, but we have some very surprising statistics when you look at our scholarships that we give out. So you can go to a summer camp, and a summer camp that is 200 kids at our locations. 1 and 2 are going to be on some sort of financial assistance. Swimming, I have to put in a plug for swimming. Drowning prevention in Florida is critical. Drowning is the number one cause of death for kids 1 to 4. And when you hear a stat like that, we need to make sure that every child has an opportunity to learn how to swim.
Yeah.
That's what the Y does. Then if I told you this next level, that 1 in 3 kids that participate in swim lessons are on financial assistance, it's just a very eye-opening experience. 1 in 4 that participate in sports. I mentioned we had 25,000 new sports participants. Yeah. We need to give kids every opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive. And that's what the Y does. We help them to be great teammates, to be safe around water, to have a safe space during after school time, or out of school time. That's what the Y does. And so the Y, again, nonprofit organization that is supporting all of these community needs, and we can't do it without the financial support of the community. And so I would say that the need is absolutely there. From a professional standpoint, I would say follow your passion. I wake up every day with stresses, right? Like everyone's got work stress. But when you love what you do, it's not a work stress. It's how do I be better for the community? How do I be better for what I'm doing because I'm so passionate about it? I want my kids to grow up. I firmly believe, not because I work at the Y, but I firmly believe that every community needs a Y. And I think about my kids. I've got a 6-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I'm watching them grow up. If they don't have these activities, if they don't have these opportunities, if their friends that need support don't have these opportunities, what are we doing?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I think from a professional standpoint, follow your passion. There are passionate people that are doing these things in all of these different organizations. And without them, wouldn't be successful. So follow your dreams, follow your passion.
Well, and finally, we had our board meeting a couple weeks ago.
We did.
You had this phrase that I want you to end with today and maybe give a brief explanation. I think it has to do with socks.
It's one of my favorite. No, I love it.
Yeah,
it's my tag for 2025.
Tag for 2025. So you can share that, explain it, and then we'll wrap up.
Sure. Socks right, laces tight. That's my tag for 2025. And it stems from John Wooden. So
okay.
John Wooden, famed coach of the UCLA Bruins. He first practice before every season, he would have everyone get ready. So team would go, they'd get dressed for practice, they'd come out to the court. John Wooden would look at them, say, okay, now head back to the locker room. Now you've got 18 to 22-year-olds,
yep.
right? And
yep.
some of the upperclassmen probably already know what's happening here. But the underclassmen are totally confused. And so they get back to the locker room, says, all right, I need everyone to take their socks and shoes off. Now they're really confused.
Yep.
They're like, Coach, what's going on? And so he explains, I'm going to show you the right way to put your socks on. And then I'm going to show you the right way to tie your shoes. And then he goes into his explanation. Because if your socks aren't on right, you could get a blister. If your shoes aren't tied right, you could turn your ankle. If you do either of those things, you can't be on the court. If you can't be on the court, we can't win games. If we can't win games, we can't win championships.
That's right.
And so to me, that is a story that it perfectly equates to what we have to do. We have to make sure that we are doing all of the little things right so that we can win championships for our community. So socks right, laces tight in 2025.
That's it. Socks right, laces tight, 2025. Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you, David. I appreciate you.
I love it, man. You're
natural.
I love
awesome.
it. This is awesome. Thank you so much. All right, Chris.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.